going to do a bit of airbrushing. Going to turn that sound off actually. Right, I'm going to do a bit of airbrushing. So you can see how very wrong it goes before it goes right. Let's get another glove. Now I've got this new template I'm going to have a go with, but I need to mask off some of it. I'm going to start off with, I think, one of those smaller. One of the smaller ovals with a bit of chestnut blue. Right. Bit of my usual random kind of approach. Horrendous noise is my little workshop compressor. And I say random, but look how neatly it's working out. Let's put one over here. And I'm going to start to fill in some of the spaces. I'll have a look at the comments in a minute and see if anyone's made any suggestions. Do all this work to sand it and get it all nice and lovely and smooth, and then blast it with colour. Good stuff. I think I can squeeze one in there. You can see the stencil's getting a little bit covered with stain, so I'll just give that a little wipe on the bed of the lathe. I've got a towel. I think that'll do for now. Bit of purple next. Now on the outside here I've got, instead of holes, I've got stencil, or I don't know what you call them, the positives and the negatives, I guess. It feels a bit weird just muttering to myself. Let's see, I think it's that one I want. I just want to get a little bit around the outside. Not too worried yet about neatness of coverage, or these little artifacts you get from the other stencils. This is just a good old Sunday afternoon play in the shed session. I'm assuming you can see it. Yeah, it looks like you can from the monitor I've got over my shoulder. Interesting. Why is that word interesting always so synonymous with, God, that's a load of rubbish? I think it's nearly time to wipe this stencil off. Clean it up a little bit. I think this is the last one. Okay, getting there, looking like something. Ah. My keyboard isn't working. I think it needs a new battery, so apologies for not saying hello to everyone who said hello so far. Right, the other Peacock colour, of course, is green. And I think I'm going to do something up in the edges with the green. Always connect your airline, especially if you're doing this live. Now I'm not too worried about the bitty bits going on because I'm going to do some flicking over the top anyway. It's looking rather bilious, isn't it? But fun. Definitely fun. I'm sure you'd all agree it looks fun. I probably need a different sort of setup to do this more neatly. Oh, definitely that went a bit splodgy. Very splodgy. I hope some of you are thinking, how's he going to get out of this, make it look like it's something worth keeping? Oh, the challenge. It looks a bit zany, doesn't it? I'll just clean that off a little bit. I do like the different mixture of the negative and the positive shapes you get on here, but it's a bit hard doing it at 90 degrees. I might have to invest in one of those carving vices. There's always a need for something new, isn't there? Okay, that's the green done. Now, probably looks better when it's spinning. Right, dark blue next. And I'm going to try to just stick to the outside of one of these larger openings. I think I'm just going to cover up the two I don't want though. Obviously you get a neater finish if again you were putting it onto something flat. Spray in the middle just to get the colour going. That looks a little more interesting. And where I'm going over the purple, it's making a much nicer, darker colour. Yeah. Horrific. Hideous. I think I prefer the term potential. I probably put more thought into what I'm going to eat for breakfast than I do for this. Quite, is it 60s or 70s this? It's not dissimilar to a duvet cover I had in the 80s, but that was browns and orange. Got a bit of bleed over from the stencil there, the top here and here. Give it a bit of a wipe, moving round. Right, that's all of those blues done. I quite like that effect. I think I'm going to go for one of the larger. Actually, I think I've only got one larger one left. Yeah. This one is a little bit larger, and I think I'm just going to overlap that just a little bit. I'm thinking. I was thinking black. Should I do black? If you're watching, give me some suggestions. Should I do black? Right, what brand airbrushes do I use? These are a set. These coloured ones, these are from a company called Sealy, and they sell them in a box of 6, which I've found on eBay a couple of times for about £70. Other ones and make on Amazon called Voila Mart. This one's a Voila Mart, but they're only about range between £12 to £15 each. I'm assuming you can actually hear me. Can someone tell me if you can hear me? Oh, Valerie. Black. Is that a no? I mean, we've got a purple going on, I suppose, because I've put the dark blue over the purple. All right, Valerie, for you, I'll do green. Okay, here goes. Wish me luck, everyone. It does take away a bit of the brightness of the purple, so I just try to be a bit more accurate with spraying it only where the stencil actually is. Bit sort of spacey, psychedelic-y. And I don't mind that it goes off the end. A bit like me, really. Off at the end. Right, give that a bit of a wipe. Now, I'm not going to let you see the back of this because I'm sure I've managed to get stain all over it. Oh, not too bad. The back actually has been waxed, so it should come off very easily. Right. What a fun way to spend a Sunday. It will have to have some black on it though, Valerie, somewhere, surely. I always end up putting black somewhere. At the moment, I don't know that the colours are vibrant enough for me, but that could be me spraying green over the purple. Right, that stencil's got very wet. Let's go and see what advice you're giving me. I can hear you fine. Oh, good. Sound works. Good. Yeah, I'm hoping for a bit of a sort of peacock look. It's sort of there in a rather disturbing, am I going to be sick in a minute kind of way. What I've got to think about now, I think, is what goes on down in these gaps here. Ooh. Right. Well, let's see. Just wait for the compressor to stop making so much noise. Okay. Right. Oh, I can't decide. But that's not unusual. I think I want to liven up. I think I want to liven up where I've got that purple actually. So I'm going to go back to that, which is, I'm going to start off again with the dark blue. Not maybe on all of them, just catching the outside a little bit. Yeah, I think that makes a bit more interest. Just wipe that off. It's got a bit messy on behind. I've ruined the effect a bit there. One or two of them are a bit fainter than others. Okay, now I'm just going to go for where I've got this sort of little band of purple here, just a little misting there. I'm holding my breath, I don't know why. Is it the pressure of being live in front of all of you? Yeah, it's a shame I've not been very neat keeping my stencil clean enough, I think. Right, I'm going back to green on the outside, and I quite like this overlapping effect. So I'm going to choose one of the smaller ones. Just go in those gaps, overlapping. Oh, just dry it off a little bit. My mother-in-law has a bowl in Peacock colours. It's a bit like this, only it's a much deeper bowl. But it's something that's been a bit of inspiration for a long time. This is, I think I've got too messy with this one, but can't really tell until the very end when I spray it black, and then no one will ever know. Oh, except all of you who've been watching. Drats. Best laid plans. etc. I quite like the move to larger, from larger to smaller on the edges. I've got to come and think about something to put down in there. Now if I put purple in there, it's going to look a bit odd. I think I need to do maybe something different. I might just try. What's dark blue going to look like there? Wonderful, except I can't really get the template quite right in because of all of this. So do I do something slightly different? Not sure about that. I think that might be bringing too much of a different colour in. And I do like that hard edge it's giving. Having to be really quite delicate with this, not used to working in that way. Probably would have been better purple. Too late now. Or is it? I can go over it with purple. Which I think might work well. Just a few more to go. Right, clean off your stencil, Stewart. Nothing worse than a dirty stencil, unless you want that dirty look. A bit grungy. I think I've got to make more of that colour. I'll come back to that in a moment. Just last one. Okay. Right, just take a little pause, see if anyone's got any questions. Oh, hello Stu. Yeah, I remember meeting you at Birstall Club. Excellent. So hello Glenn and SM and Carl and Wayne. Nice to see you all here. Oh, how does it look on the screen? Beautiful. Yes. Right. Got to do something with these gaps. Alright, this has decided to stop working, which is a bit annoying. This is really rather zany looking. It's a shame I've got a bit of a hard line there, but not a lot I can do about that now, I don't think, unless I really obliterate it by spraying darker into that space. But might disguise it, might not. I don't know if you can pick it up on the screen. I put so much effort into making the back beautiful. I don't want to take all of this off and start again, but it's an idea I've had in my imagination for a while. So I'm glad I've given it a go. I think it just needed a bit more trial and error. just building up the colour on these blues, because that's what I want to stand out. I'm not quite sure if they just all look a bit clashy. I'll put it on a turntable and keep it spinning. Okay, the next thing I want to do is to try to get some blue around the edges. And I think the thing to do is probably cover up some of the green to keep that fresh green, and just blast the blue into the gap. Quite like that look. Gap here, another gap there. Little gaps, and then I'm going to probably do the rest freehand. I think it's good finally getting some blue up on the edge here, but it's a very awkward position to get the stencil into, and it's bouncing off my thumb and spraying it everywhere, but I don't mind that. You know I like it a bit messy. That's probably a bit too messy even for me, but there we go. Right, bits of their wood are going to have bits of blue blasted at them. I'm a bit close really, I've sort of oversprayed that but it's doing something to tie it in with these larger blue blobs. The black's coming soon, Valerie, don't worry. It's really rather messy over there, but that's without wanting to rub everything off, I think that's how it's going to be. Yeah, up here is a mess. And really, I should probably take it all. Just looking out for bits now that don't seem to be very covered, and get some cover on them. I like this very varied bit round the rim here, but it just looks a bit garish. Right, back with the purple. So like I pretend I know what I'm doing. Here and here I want to try and soften that line, which means making it a bit darker in there. There's another bit here. Back with the blue. Right. As you know, this bright blue is my favourite one of the colours, really. Right, decision time. I'm thinking of splattering some of the blue over it now. It's sort of a, not really very peacocky, but that's because I haven't put any black on, Valerie. Let's see. Looking better with darker outlines, thank you. Inner and outer rim of black to set it off. Valerie, you're a genius. Hi Alan, welcome. Looking better with darker outlines, says Stu. Yes, yes, I think it is. You don't look at the back though. I like it round the edge here. I'm not so sure about black anymore. What do you reckon about splattering, anybody? Where have I got my splatter sticks? Nowhere. Any comments about splattering yet? Splatter good. I'd like to see this flattering. Okay. Splattering. Maybe it has to be black. That's not really splattering off there very well. Try off the glove. Got to get it just right. Right, getting there slowly and moving to a different splatter colour. I'm going to try the darker blue now. Spin it round a little. Okay, and I'm going to stop there and leave that a little bit of time to dry, and just one or two areas where it could be a little darker, the green could be a bit stronger. I don't want to go over all of the blue on the edge. Okay. There's always one more little bit, isn't there? Right, I'm going to stop there. Now, I've got to leave this to dry quite a while before I can seal it and then put some lacquer on it. But that will come in a later video. But thank you for joining me live while I well, it's not too bad looking after all, is it? After the very well, the very messy start. If you keep slapping it on sometimes you get away with it. Right, that does need at least half an hour or more just to dry off. If I put the sanding sealer on now, it'll start to make it run a bit. And I didn't do any black. Interesting. I'm not sure where the rim is going to go. It's probably about here somewhere. I might put a bit of black on a little inner rim. But thanks for watching. All white, says Phil. Art by committee, says about white. No splatter. Oh, message retracted from someone. Yes, Stu, it does seem quite blended. I think it's all quite difficult to tell though from the light in here what it's going to look like when I get the lacquer on, and that makes it pop a bit. But I think that the blue I have darkened too much. But if you remember from the demo at Birstall, I don't always know when to stop. Let's see, I'll take it off, take the lathe off, take the chuck off the lathe. Get it a bit nearer to the camera. I can't really move the camera because the connection keeps cutting out if I do that. Right. Oh. I'm just going to have to put that down there to dry. Now then, I don't know if that helps, if you can see it any better. I've got to wait for my monitor to catch up. Oh, it's quite hard to see, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not sure that's giving you much of a better idea, really. But there we go. That's what it looks like up close. So leaving it to dry, sanding sealer, and if I keep it, there'll be a video, an edited video, including the stills of how glorious it looks when I've done that. I think I like the overall look, really, but it's not quite what I want yet, apart from some very small areas with the blue and the green. It's nearly dry, feeling a lot drier now. Because if I wanted to bring some clarity back, I could give a little sanding here and put the blue on in again. But I think that would be a mistake. I think I should leave it, seal it, lacquer it, and then make a decision after that. Yeah, better still with lacquer. Looks like a keeper, says Valerie. Good, thank you. Gulls in the shop roof. Yes, there are gulls in the shop roof. Well, on the shop roof. In the shop roof, squirrels. Eating all of my lovely insulation. Right, sanding sealer. It's a good job sanding sealer has a different coloured lid from the ebonising lacquer. Now what I haven't actually done yet is sort out this rim. I think I'll sand it back though to bare wood. Part of me wants there to be a bit more colour in there, but I think that would just make it too dark. Got to give this a shake. Sorry for the noise. Should I leave it longer before I put the sealer on? No, I don't think so. Right, just a little bit there. Right, leave that to dry. A little bit here, I don't know if you can see. It sort of, I don't know, in some places it makes the colour go into like little tiny dots. Don't think I've got any sealer on that bit. Sort of see where the sealer is by the shine. Yeah, I think there's enough on all of that now. See if I can bring the camera in a bit nearer. Okay, so that brings you in a bit closer, but the colour rendition isn't superb. It seems to make it look there's a bit more variation and brightness than you can see on the screen there. So I'm just going to put this coat of lacquer on, and then I'm going to go indoors and have a cup of tea. In the past I put the lacquer on, moved the can too quickly. It gets a very uneven coverage, but also don't want to put it on a thicker coat. Going for gloss lacquer. I think that's covered all of it. The temptation is always one little squirt. And can you see the little bit of workshop dust that's just landed on it? How steady is my hand? Pretty steady. Got it! Woohoo! I think someone's going to love that. There's no accounting for taste, is there? Where are you on my screen? Okay. Right. Okay, just switch over to this camera. Oh, it's quite an odd experience doing it live. I did do a Facebook video probably over a year ago, just to see how it worked. I wasn't sure if this would work, thanks for watching. Final video, finished video of it will come. I think it's going to be a keeper. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon. Cheers.